Howdy, y'all. So I'm here with a 2012 Ford Focus hatchback working on the heater core. I'm making this video because a lot of the videos I've seen online were incomplete or left out a lot of problems that I had or weren't vehicle specific. Everybody I'm running into online is telling me that a heater core replacement on this vehicle is a mechanic level job because of the amount of work that it requires. From the job isn't done right now but from what I can see, it's a lot of work, but none of it is inherently more difficult than any other repair I've ever done. It requires removing the dashboard. In my case, I had to remove a couple of the door or I had to remove the front doors, and there's a metal bar that rolls through your dashboard if you're not familiar. But I want to walk you through a couple of high points that I feel like the other videos missed or left out. Um, First off, my diagnosis, how I came to the conclusion that it was my heater core. I was having a coolant leak where I was putting coolant, like a gallon of coolant in it every 2 days or so. It was just steady getting worse. Eventually, I quit putting coolant in it and I was only putting water in it. Once I had time, I jacked the car up, I got underneath of it, and turned on the AC system or the heating system, and I noticed a steady drip of water coming out of the AC drain tube. Later, I filled the reservoir with normal coolant, so it was green, and I had a steady green drip coming out of the AC drain tube. So I determined that my heater core had to have a crack in it somewhere, and decided that that was the route I was going to go as far as fixing it. I started off with a bottle of heater core leak repair from Walmart. Didn't work, really made the problem worse. If you notice this white spot right here, that's like some cotton type material. It's the hardening agent. I think it blocked up part of my system, so I got to do a radiator flush because I'm getting air bubbles, back pressure, overheating. Really didn't do my system any good. Kind of like helped me limp on for about a week. Also didn't really do the proper flush afterwards. So that might be my fault. But first thing, I want to come in here and show you. Remember always, I'm just going to, every other video I know saw this. I just want to make sure you remember, disconnect your battery if you're doing this job. You're going to be messing with your airbags and everything, and if you set one of those airbags off, it's going to hurt a lot. Be safe, disconnect your battery. Second off is these two tubes right here are your in and out for your heater core. And you've got these type of connectors on them. As you can see, I've mauled them all up because I had to use a pair of needle nose pliers. But essentially, you just have to turn them, I believe it was counterclockwise for me, into an open position, and then they'll just kind of wiggle off. Aside from the turning of this gray plastic thing, it was an easy process. Just turning that is very difficult. You don't have a lot of room in there. I was told there's a special tool. I don't know where to get it. I don't know what it looks like. So once you take care of that, you might have to remove your cowl. I did just so it was easier for me. I know I've done battery work without having done it before. The only reason I did it was to disconnect the negative terminal from my battery. But then coming around here, I'm a larger individual, so for the space that I had to work, I elected to take out both of the front seats, so that I had room to work. I already had removed both of the back seats for other purposes and reasons, so I didn't have to worry about those. But then coming in here, so a couple things that I didn't get really told about. See if you can see this in here. Here is your passenger side airbag. And these two clips right here, apparently you can just pull them and they'll come out. I was unable to get that. I was really worried about breaking it, so I wound up cutting the wires, and I'm going to have to wind up resplicing them. Another thing you're going to want to look out for, if you're not familiar, are these clips with bridles on them. Some of them move in ways that you wouldn't necessarily expect, or they've got a locking mechanism in a weird spot. So trying to take your time and your patience with these clips so you don't break them is really important. I have quite a few in here that are broken. I don't know if you can see them from where I'm at. This center one right here on the back side's broken, so it's not coming out. All of these small, if you do decide to take on this repair, all of these small little screws, you see two of them right here. That is mostly what holds your dashboard on. That's mostly going to be the fastener you run into. It is a 5/16 as far as I can tell. And the only thing I have in that is a small, janky 1/4 inch drive ratchet. So I definitely recommend getting that. I also recommend getting a set of Torx bits because quite a few of these are randomly Torx. When it comes to actually having your dashboard off and everything like that, oh, let me back up. Once you get all the fasteners out for your dashboard and it's time to remove it, you're going to find that you have a metal bar that runs right here and right here. It's connected together. You don't have to remove this bracket from the engine bay like a lot of people say. You can undo a bunch of the fasteners down there and the fasteners up there and remove this bracket, and then the bar will separate and those will stay in place. Be careful when you're doing that, because when I put the bar back in, I had put my weight on this at one point and bent it out of place, so I had to wiggle it and fight with it to get it back aligned with the screw hole. But it is possible to do it without taking that off. Then when you need to take the bar out, because the bar runs through this box that you have to get to, you have to get to a 15 millimeter that's right here. There's a little black cover, you pop that off, and then it's a long bolt that goes all the way through here and into the side of that cage. I had to remove my doors. I just popped that bolt and that one out and then dropped the door down next to me. Because the way the door was built, I popped out a green clip here and a green clip here for the wiring harness and pulled off the rubber boot on the inside of the door and just laid the door down next to here. Be careful when you do that not to damage the bottom edge of the door. I haven't even looked to see how badly I messed mine up, but I can feel that it is all scraped up. So be careful if you're going to do that. Put down like a 2x4 or something next to your door, so you're not putting it right down on the pavement. And then, oh, back over to this bracket. When you're taking all this off, there's a metal piece between these two brackets on the back side. If you take off the inboard side, the passenger side of, or the bolt on the passenger side of that bracket on the back, it'll swing down, which will give you access to this bolt over here. You don't need to take the bolt out of that side. Don't know if that's important. Oh, if you've never taken these off, your A-pillars, pull the top out, which will pull this clip out, and you'll be able to slide it out of its holster in there, and then the rest of them just pop. There's definitely going to be more updates to this as I finish it and I find out and remember more things. I'm hoping to post this on Reddit, so please, if you have any questions at all, let me know. I will be more than happy to do my best and answer them. But yeah, everybody online's been telling me that this is a job that needs to be done by a mechanic, and from at a very, very leisurely pace from Friday at 3 p.m. till Sunday at about 9 p.m. Roughly about 8 hours of work a day, but again, at a very leisurely pace. We got the dash out, we got the new unit in, and we got the pretty much right back to where you see right now. So this isn't necessarily a job that can't be done by a home gamer. It's just quite a bit, and you're probably going to have to worry about not having a car for about a week unless you're able to really bust this job out. I know I have to go to work today, and I'm not going to be able to work on this again until Friday. So I'm kind of heartbroken about seeing my car ripped apart like this. But I don't know. if you do decide to take on the shop, good luck.